Everything you were taught about the timeline of human history is wrong. For decades, we believed the story of our past was a closed book. But beneath our feet, archaeology is unearthing pieces that simply do not fit. We're talking about human footprints found in New Mexico that shouldn't exist for another 10,000 years. A 12,000-year-old city in Turkey with a functional sewer system built by primitive hunter-gatherers. And a brutal Bronze Age battlefield in Germany where thousands of soldiers fought a war that history completely forgot. Today, we're peeling back the layers of the official record to find the forgotten chapters of the human story. 1. The Ghost Tracks of White Sands. Our first stop is the White Sands of New Mexico. For years, locals whispered about ghost tracks, footprints that only appear when it rains and vanish as soon as the sun dries the earth. In 2021, scientists dated these tracks using seeds trapped inside the mud. The result? 23,000 years old. Why is that a problem? Because according to every textbook, North America was blocked by miles of solid ice back then. These people shouldn't have been able to get here. Yet, the mud doesn't lie. We even see the tracks of a young mother carrying a toddler, walking past a giant ground sloth the size of an elephant. They weren't just here, they were thriving in a world of monsters. 2. The Beaded Field. Now, let's travel to Turkey to a site called Boncuklu Tarla, the Beaded Field. We used to think humans settled down only after we invented farming. But 12,000 years ago, these people were already building rectangular houses with 90-degree corners and complex urban infrastructure. They even engineered a stone-lined sewer system to carry waste away from their homes. This was thousands of years before the Greeks or Romans. It turns out, our ancestors didn't settle down to farm. They settled down to build society and trade over 50,000 handcrafted beads made from obsidian and exotic seashells. 3. The Giants of Malta. On the tiny island of Malta stands Gigantia. Local legends say it was built by giants, and looking at the 50-ton limestone blocks, it's hard to disagree. These temples were finished in 3600 BC. That's 1,000 years before the Great Pyramids and long before Stonehenge. The mystery. These people didn't have the wheel. They didn't have metal tools. Yet they engineered chambers with a perfect acoustic resonance of 110 Hz, a frequency known to deactivate the logical part of the human brain and induce a trance-like state. They weren't just building with stone, they were manipulating human consciousness. 5. The Lost Battlefield. Finally, we head to the Talents Valley in Germany. For a long time, we thought Bronze Age Europe was a peaceful land of small farmers. Then, a single human bone was found sticking out of a riverbank with a flint arrowhead embedded in it. Excavations revealed a slaughter. Up to 4,000 warriors met at a wooden bridge for a massive, organized war. There are no written records of this conflict. No names of kings or empires. Just the broken bones of soldiers who traveled hundreds of miles to die in a swamp. It's a grim reminder that we have been efficient at organized violence far longer than we care to admit. We assume we've mapped the world and solved the mystery of our origins. But if we can miss a 2-kilometer-wide monument right next to Stonehenge for 4,000 years, what else is waiting in the mud? The past isn't a straight line, it's a ghost story, and we're only just beginning to hear the whispers. Which of these discoveries do you think rewrites history the most? Let me know in the comments. And as always, stay curious.